Okay, these video notes are about how to write equations from words and graphs. Now, the equation that we're using for these verbal descriptions, we're using the parent function, the square root of x. And we're going to use these parameter changes to affect this equation, this graph. So, shift 2 units left. Now, left is horizontal, so that's a clue that the 2 is going to go inside the radical with the x. Now recall that when you're inside the grouping symbol, it is always the opposite of what you think. So 2 to the left is going to be plus 2. This will translate the graph 2 units to the left. Reflect over the x-axis. Okay, so that means we're going to have a negative involved. And shift 2 units down. So we're going to be shifted down 2. So remember, down is your k value. So we're going to have y equals negative square root of x. I like to put a little tail there to close it. And then down 2. Vertical compression reflected over the y-axis. So vertical compression, that's going to go on the front. Compression, meaning the a value is going to be between 0 and 1. So, you can choose a number. If a number is not given there for you, then you can choose a number. So a number between 0 and 1, I'm just going to go ahead and go with 1/3. And then we have a reflection over the y-axis, so the negative goes on the x. Horizontal stretch, translated 4 units right. So again, key word here, horizontal. To the right, that is also horizontal. So all of these parameter changes are going to occur inside the grouping symbol, which in this case is a radical. So horizontal stretch. Now remember, it's always going to be the opposite. So the opposite of a vertical stretch. Okay, so we're going to use a number between 0 and 1. I'm just going to go ahead and choose 1/5. And then I have to use these parentheses. So that way I have my translation separate from my stretch. So x minus 4. Horizontal stretch, translated 4 units to the right. Okay, so now we're going to write equations from graphs. So the majority of these graphs you should recognize as y equals the square root of x parent, because the parent makes this shape. So most of these make this shape. So let's take a look at this first one. So when you're writing an equation from a graph, the first thing you do is you start off by making your square root of x. Okay? Now, find that starting point. Now, did it get translated to the left or to the right? No. So no horizontal translation. Did it get translated up or down? No. So no vertical translation. Now, if you recall on the parent, it's over 1 up 1. It's over 4 up 2. So notice my y-coordinate was doubled. My y-coordinate went from 2 to 4. So that means that we have a vertical stretch of 2. And that's the only thing that's occurring. So that is our function. That's our equation. Okay, next one. Did we translate horizontally? Yes, we translated 2 units to the left. So start off with our x. We went left 2. We went down 2. So 2 to the left, 2 units down. Now let's check for anything else. So over 1, up 1, over 4, up 2, so no stretch. Now it's going up and to the right, just like the parent, so no reflection. So we're done. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Did it get translated left or right? No. Did it get translated down? Yes. Down 2. Now, notice compared to the parent, it's not going to the right anymore, it's going to the left. So it got reflected over the y-axis. So we put the negative on the x. And then let's check for stretch or compression. Over 1, up 1, over 4, up 2. So no stretch or compression. And we're done. Reflected over the y, translated 2 units down. Okay, next one. So starting at 0, 0, translated 2 units to the right. So x, excuse me, I said right, didn't I? 2 units to the left, so that's going to be x plus 2. And 1 unit up, plus 1. Now we have a reflection. Instead of going as the parent goes up and to the right. This one's going down and to the right. So we have a reflection over the x-axis. And then again, we can check for stretch and compression. Over 1, down 1, over 4, down 2. So the down, remember, has to do with the negative. But the a value is still 1 because it's the same as the parent. Okay, so now don't be confused. We've already learned about these. This is a quadratic. So writing the equation for this one, we start off with our x, and we have squared. Now the reason I put it in parentheses is because we have a translation. 2 units to the right, 2 units down. And then recall, to check for your a value, you go to your vertex, and you go over 1 unit, and then you count to the point on the graph. 1, 2. So our a value is 2. Okay, I'll see you guys in class tomorrow. Thank you for taking your video notes.